Tune in, guys. We're having a chill day. It's just James and myself. We're going to talk about keeping cool while we're chilling, looking at some trades today, guys. Questions and answers, bring them. Anything goes today. All right, guys. There we go. Okay, good. We're good. I got some homemade lemonade here. We're hanging out. We're keeping it cool for summer. It just if you guys were watching my live stream beforehand, I actually decided to close out the trade just as we dumped there. So I'm not in any trades now that we're starting the stream here, just so that we could focus. I want to be mostly looking at chat. James and I can have a quick little conversation about, the topic of the day was going to be how do we keep our minds cool, or how do we keep our minds relaxed when it comes to trading? So if you do want some inspiration for some questions, that's what it was going to be. We're going to have Louise on, but a little bit of scheduling confusion. So we're going to have her next month. And that being said, I think, it's always such a beautiful coincidence that the topic of the day always so closely fits. Hopefully I think I'm getting a little bit of choppiness on the stream here. Yeah. So closely fits to the cameras are lagging, James.
Okay. Can you hear me? Yeah, I'm all good. I can hear you.
1 second. I think there might be hopefully it's not lagging too bad there. It might be the internet quality in the Airbnb I'm at. It seemed like we were having that issue last week too. And voice not clear. Let me know in chat, guys, if there's any issues here. Only Hunter's cam is lagging. Let me fix this. Hold on. High resolution. I might have to lower the resolution. Oh wow, that's super zoomed in. I do not like that at all. Guys, as I was saying, hopefully it's better now. The day was very choppy, and I'm not sure if you guys experienced that as well. On the markets, this would have been the perfect day to not be cool, to not chill and just let the trade go as you're expecting. It's been nonstop up and down. Let me throw up on the chart here. Hello again. Let me know, first of all, guys, if everything's fine. Voice is clear. Voicing pictures clear. Hey, thank you. Okay, perfect. All I needed to do was make my upload quality terrible, or my audio terrible. I think there's a bit of an issue with this Airbnb in terms of the upload. Cam is lagging.
Hunter,
This is the issue. We'll see what we can do. For now, we might not be able to take this too well. If you're looking at the market here, my trade that I was taking today was actually originally to the long side, and we ended up closing it out because of these massive wicks here on those 15 minutes. And then when you look at the 1 minute, you really get this insanity of up and down. And this makes no sense for your average trader. Like, you can't trend trade this, you can't range trade this because it's going past, and it's just completely random. And I think anyone trading this is going to get chomped up unless they're able to keep their cool. And the strategy that I was able to use today was recognizing before the market opened that, hey, maybe today is actually not going to be the best day, because I went in not knowing what's exactly going to happen. I looked at some levels, and it seemed like the levels were really difficult and far. The price action didn't look super good. It looked like it was going to go up, but then we had these starting to get choppy wicks here. So I decided, like, hey, I made it present, and I said, hey, this is going to be a weird day, and I accept that, right? So now I'm able to sit back and just wait for a really good opportunity, right? Another option you can do is look at, the higher time frames. When in doubt, zoom out. You've heard it before. Well, the reality is that these higher time frame candle closes, you saw the 4 hours being pretty bearish. So I ended up deciding I'm just going to sit in a short for a while, right? As it's literally going against me. And this was the trade idea, and I've actually closed it out now, because it's just, there's no point in sitting this anymore. It's a time-based thing a lot of these times. And if it doesn't go in your favor quick enough, then it's just going to drift away from you. That was a lot of things at once. James, what's your take? Do you have voices clear? Okay.
Yeah,
Some people have.
Let me share.
Do you have your chart? Yeah, share your screen. Let's jump into yours and see how your take of today was.
So I actually had quite a, let's show my stream. There you go. I actually had quite a nice day today. I actually ended up shorting the DAX, which I know you've been looking at, but obviously mainly trading NQ, your side. But I shorted the DAX just off a break of the opening range low. And I had a nice 4,500 buck day today. So nice day, yeah. And as I said, just short, which I need to put the daily report card and do the markup on it or whatever. But simple play of breaking of this level here, which was the opening range low, and a nice trade. I actually went to go get something to eat, and this big bar shoved down over 100 points. I mean, you got to love that, right? So I'll take that, and that was my trade today. So a nice trading down. I think actually from our stream last week. So for those of you that have been watching Hunter and I, we actually went live last week. I believe it was last week Wednesday or so. But you only trade NQ, and that's been something that I need to just knuckle down. And I'm only actually going to focus on mainly the DAX. Actually, it's been where I'm making my money this year as well as last year. And this is something that I'm going to stay focused on. I'm actually heading to Europe next week, Thursday, Hunter. So, I'm actually heading that side. Just staying focused on kind of one ticker, similar to how you have been crushing it doing that. And you kind of get to know the levels, how it trades in and out, instead of trying to, look at a million different things, right?
Yeah. That's really good advice for keeping your confidence and keeping it, because I think keeping cool while trading and keeping relaxed really comes down to your confidence in the strategy, or in the let's hide this here, in where the move is actually going to happen. And if I'm looking and I'm saying, hey, I'm quite confident that it is going to go down at some point pretty soon, I have no issue sitting in drawdown, right? Yeah. It looks like you didn't have any drawdown today.
Right? Very, very minimal. I mean, if anything, for like I was in at 118 and I had 12 points of drawdown on the DAX is basically nothing, really nothing. Yeah.
So you said an interesting point. You got up and you went to get some food. Now that is insane for most traders, because did you bring your phone in there and watch the whole time while you're making a sandwich?
I went to go get something to eat, dude. I was hungry and needed something to eat. I made my sandwich, came back to the desk, and I was like, geez, I'm up like over 100 points. And I was like, I'll take that. Thank you for coming. But I entered with my risk that I was okay to lose. And if it stopped me out, cool. It didn't. I got to the desk. I risked $2,000. I made $4,500. So I knew the worst case scenario. If I come back, I would have lost $2,000, and I'm okay with that. But I think as I said, just something that I'm working on myself is just keeping things super simple, focusing on one asset, which for me, I looked at my stats and where I'll be making money. It's the DAX, and narrowing down on there. And then if there's no trades on it, then you just move on to the next trading day.
Yeah.
But and keeping calm. I think also today's stream is kind of just keeping calm while in a trade or while in your own trading is like, I think the more simple you keep things, the more calm you can be. But I went to go make food and I came back and I was like, I was in profit. I was like, I'll take that. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, easy. So it's great to hear because you said you set your stop loss and you looked at it and you're like $2,000, whatever it is, right? And the interesting thing is, a lot of traders will put that stop loss there, but not recognize that is an amount of money that they're willing to lose, right?
Yeah.
And then when it's in drawdown, you start panicking and now you're not able to keep your cool. Whereas I think what you did differently is you said, hey, I accept $2,000 loss. And I think it's similar to what I do when I enter a trade too, is every single trade, I assume I'm going to lose, right? And for some reason, I don't lose. You know what I mean? For some reason, I end up being right. And it shocks me every single time. But it's the mindset going into the trade, because that way, if you assume you're going to lose the money, well, hey, now you don't care.
It's the expectation thing. Yeah.
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 Cool.
I see there's some guys in the chat here from South Africa. What's up, guys? Yeah, good to have you guys on. You guys can see I'm from South Africa. I've got the flag in the background. So, but yeah, I think, I mean, we need to do more. Obviously, we're going to do more streams together, Hunter. But I think, you keep it quite chilled. You're like, I've taken my trade. Whatever happens, and you move on. You accept the outcomes. But I will say this to guys that are struggling at the moment in terms of their trading. Try focus on one asset class. Whether that's gold, whether that's an index, try and focus on one. Keep it simple and try. I would rather take one trade a day than try and trade 20 times a week and still end up losing money. So it gives you a lot more headache trying to watch a lot more different things, right? And that's why you kind of watch one as well, right, Hunter?
If you only watch one thing, you really get to understand that pair. A lot of times people will ask me, okay, why don't I trade gold, right? Well, because that's going to make it more confusing, right? I don't need to trade gold when I can only trade one thing at a time. Realistically, if I'm bouncing around, well, then I'm not making a decision that's for sure this is what I want to do. And if you're not confident in your decisions, then again, you're going to be playing that back and forth. Hey, should I be in? Should I be in this one or this one? Should I be long or short? And you really need to know for sure what your decision is and then stick to it, right? And that's, again, how you keep calm in the trade is, okay, you make it clear in your mind, this is my decision, whatever happens, happens.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree with that. Any questions, guys? Hunter's obviously, as he's mentioned, his favorite pairs. The NASDAQ, I trade, the DAX, they kind of do move together, I think also from a time perspective, the DAX is quite nice for me. Obviously, you've been in Europe for quite long, but you can understand sometimes trading the NASDAQ can get quite late, and if you don't find a move at the open, can get quite late into the afternoon, right?
Yeah, being in Cyprus, the NASDAQ open is 6:20 p.m. right now, and you just finished trading, right? So it's not too bad for depending on where you are, because you would end your day more or less now and you do all your work in the morning and whatnot. With the DAX, I noticed that it is incredibly profitable if you let things run, right? The rips on the DAX are insane because I think NASDAQ has a lot more this, exact pivot points that institutions and big traders really set a hard wall at, right? And there's these ranges, and you do get a lot of this sort of like manipulation sort of looks, right, with the NASDAQ, where the DAX is like, okay, you're going to pick your direction for the day and it's just going to rip all day long. You know what I mean? And those levels are far and in between.
Yeah. No, for sure. As I said, like I think everyone should be going through their stats as well. Like, also if you failed accounts, go and look. It would be interesting for the guys that, even when I fail accounts, I'll go and look, okay, where did I make mistakes? Like, what am I trading well? What am I trading badly? And I actually went to go look at a bunch of my not only prop firm accounts, but also personal trading accounts. Where am I making my money? It's the DAX. So you got to stay focused to what's working. Some guys, I know some guys that can't trade indexes at all, and they trade like gold very well or individual stock names very well. And I think you just got to find what works for you. I personally like indexes because they're very easy to trade, right? You can trade them at a low cost. Stocks can be kind of tough to trade at times. It's very easy. You can trade them as futures, CFDs, and obviously Maven have offer all of the indexes, right?
Yeah. Yeah. The moves on gold, I have noticed, they're more trending as well, right? And I think these trending sort of pairs work really well with your sort of strategy, the DAX being included with that, because you do your kind of VWAP stuff and trend trading a little bit more, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
but still, as I said, like since we've been trading together, still trying to adapt. I'm always trying to learn. I think that's a good thing about traders. Always trying to learn, right? I mean, you've been doing this for 14 years, right, Hunter? So always trying to learn and take improvements in your own trading. What is
every month, every year? I'm at 14 now. 3 months ago it was 12. So
yeah, okay, we got some questions. What's it? 2 steps is better than 1 step. Yeah, go with what you want. But stocks that you trade. No, as I said, I just trade the DAX. So it's the German market index. Same as the NASDAQ, but for the German stock market. What is the difference between Forex and futures? I can give you my...
Sorry, it's interesting that you choose the DAX over the UK 100. You know what I mean?
Bro, that thing's choppy choppy as hell.
The UK 100 is super choppy, right?
He's super choppy, bro. No, you don't want to trade that. No.
Yeah. Interesting. You were reading a difference between Forex and futures? Yeah,
so difference between Forex and futures. So basically, it's actually not Forex. It's actually CFDs. It's just the way that you trade it. So on different... the main difference is the futures has one centralized market, whereas CFDs, every broker or every platform can have different pricing. That's kind of the main difference. But other than that, if you're trading an NQ, you're still trading an US 100 or whatever your broker calls it on the CFD version. It's the same thing.
Yeah. Someone says that walking away after you set your stops really helps them keep cool rather than monitoring the trade constantly, trying to move things around and then second guessing themselves, right? And that's exactly I think kind of the notion that we're pushing here today for a beginner or an intermediate trader. It's probably best that you take your trade, you make your belief, and then you go and leave the house or something, go do something else. It is very rare that you're going to make the right decision on the fly. So you need to determine beforehand. And then until you get to the point where you're quite advanced and you say, hey, I actually do know what's going to happen now off of these changes for sure. So I'm going to adapt my strategy while watching it. But for the first, for even a decade, you can be profitable walking away, and you're probably going to be better off walking away, honestly.
Yeah.
If you were to start over again, what would you do differently, James?
If I would start over, well, I think the first 6 months I didn't know what a stop loss was, so I think I'd learn what a stop loss is, or at least when to how to get out of trades. But I think maybe I would have paid for. Honestly, I would have paid for someone to at least teach me, someone reputable to at least teach me earlier. I think I spent like the first year and a half trying to do it by myself, and yeah, of course I up until 3 a.m. trying to learn, study and that. But I think it can, if you're paying someone that's got years of experience, like for example, someone that's got a decade of experience, they're going to help you. Yeah, can you do it by yourself? Of course. But, can you at least watch someone stream? And I think this is actually something that I didn't have, at least when I started back in 2018. I didn't have people streaming for free, like Hunter or like, me, that are showing you how to take trades live in real time. So I think if I had started earlier, maybe would have at least started learning from someone reputable a lot earlier. DAX moves better. Just saying DAX moves better than London. Yeah, because obviously it's a European market index. So that's why it does move better than London for sure. Yeah.
Do you take your trade based off of full confirmation, even if it goes against the market trend? So I determine trend differently than James probably would, right? There's the trend to me is not super important because all that matters is the next direction. Okay,
Sure.
so my trend is a completely different thing, but I understand what the determination of trend is. The only thing that matters for how I trade is determine the probability of it going up or down with the very next move, right? With the very next candle, because all I care about is the next candle, because I can only look into the future one candle at a time, right? So who cares if it goes against the trend? I'm just going to look for the best opportunity to take these little sort of, I guess not scalps, but intraday sort of setups, right?
Yep.
Let's. Are you looking for any more trades today?
At the moment, not quite. Yeah, it's pretty choppy at the moment. The ES chart, ES chart is still trading above some levels that I got here. So maybe could be looking for some longs on ES, but yeah, we actually are picking up a little bit of momentum. Yeah, but very, very slow. I don't know if you found that this week as well, Hunter.
This week, yesterday was also quite slow. I didn't actually trade yesterday. It's interesting. There is Trump is speaking this evening, so I'm wondering if everyone just is tired of being involved with his wackiness. So they're trying to stay out of the market here. Again, it still looks like the Nasdaq is stuck in this range. The ES is climbing slowly. The DAX is going down. The market is just not consistent anywhere. Bitcoin going down on the open whilst going up on London, targeting those previous all-time highs. Currently, I'm not in Bitcoin anymore personally, just because everything has been insane, and we're quite near the top. Yeah, you know what? Let's say, I think we talked about this a couple weeks ago too, but let's say somebody is trying to trade this, you know what I mean? And how, let's say they just got chopped the heck out, right? That's actually, like, I'm looking at it right now, and this is, wow. That is an insane amount. Like, I don't know of a choppier day in anywhere this year. Imagine trying to trade this and then getting chopped to oblivion over the past hour here. What do we do? What do we do after we see this and we're like, okay, I swear it's going down. You know what I mean? And we just keep trying to take those shorts. You know what I mean? How do we set ourselves up for success?
Yeah, I think if you take a first trade and you see you getting chopped around, maybe just sitting on your hands until it breaks out the level. That's why I like what you were saying on our stream last week, Wednesday, about looking at price levels and everything like that. Learning when to read when your trades are there, and actually, I don't know, maybe setting a max trade per day rule, right? Could be something that could help a lot. I think Hunter, you do it quite well. You don't take many trades a day. You take like 1 or 2 good trades a day, and then you head, bro. So yeah, and maybe time to put on the sunglasses and go to the beach rather than try and trade this choppy price action.
Yeah. You know what I would do too is I would say, hey, if my trade doesn't go to my destination within the first 2 hours, maybe I'm just going to walk away for the day, because that way it's not a trade total. But like, the reality is, let's say I'm still sitting in this short here, right? And I'm still sitting here and it's doing nothing. At this point, it's pretty hard to tell what direction it's actually going to go unless you're amazingly good at this. So now you're in a 50-50 setup, right? And the longer things take, the more randomness that enters the market, right? This looks pretty random to me, right? if you're following trends, as they say, a trend, right? It's pretty easy to buy on the pullback and then wait for the next pull. But now it's turning into an absolute random thing. So the longer that it happens that you're not getting success, well, why are you wasting your time making no money when you can go out? You could be working another job for all I care. You could be spending your time on something that's more valuable sitting here. And if you think of it that way, maybe it helps you be like, okay, I'm not going to waste my time. I just wasted 2 hours of my life not making money. Why am I working this job? You know what I mean? I'm going to go outside and relax for the day because I guess everyone's on holidays today, right?
Yeah, we also have CPR tomorrow. I think you also got to know what news are coming out too, right? We got CPR tomorrow. I agree, dude. There's going to be. You like the sunglasses, Hunter?
Yeah, go out to the beach, yeah.
Yeah, the guys are liking them in the chat here. But no, I think personally, bro, I think there's going to be much better trades. They're going to come along. I think it's just. I like what you said. If your trade doesn't go towards your designated target in the first 2 hours, just get off the flipping desk. Like. You don't need to be trading all day, every single day to make great money trading. Why try and overcomplicate something and we've spoken about this on previous streams, guys, where, it's not good to have trading as your only source of income because you're going to sit there and you're like, man, I haven't taken a trade today. I need to force something, whatever it is. Yep. Go out, do something else, have other ways of making money, other ways of progressing yourself. And I think your trading will actually take off a lot more, right?
Yeah.
For better. You'll have better results.
Yeah. Julius has a beautiful question here. Can you identify the root cause of your worst emotional trades? I think I have a good answer, and I want to hear your take on this too. Is the reason we get emotional about a trade, right? Is not because like money itself is not the problem, right? Losing money is not the problem. So you're getting upset because you're losing money, but what does money do, right? It's not the money in my mind. It's the fact that you're it's the social proof that you want to achieve. This is my opinion, right?
Yes.
And for you to be a successful trader, you need to be right all the time, right? And the difference between somebody who really messes up emotionally is somebody who is trying to prove themselves as a a profitable trader. And this is why live streaming is super difficult, right? And I'm sure you can attest to this, is if you try to prove yourself on live stream, you're going to absolutely blow up completely, right? So if you're able to understand and say, hey, let's be honest. If you're trying to trade to make like little bits of money, you could just go be working a minimum wage job instead, right? So the reality is a lot of our trades that we're only like scalping like $20 here, $20 there, right? That's your only reason you're going to get upset is because you're trying to prove yourself. Unless you're trading hundreds of thousands of dollars, then trading is more of a hobby, and you should be thinking about it that way. And this is my personal opinion, of course. Is think of it as a hobby. Hey, I'm having fun enjoying this and I'm trying to practice a skill, right? Rather than, then you won't get upset about losing a trade because who cares? Like, it doesn't matter. I'm just having fun, right? Oh, that dump just came in that I was talking about.
Yeah. I can see the DAX is actually moving lower now as well. The DAX down 40 points. Here it comes. Yeah, there you go. There's that dump. I think there was something to do with China.
Yeah, of course. The thing is, in my opinion, I knew this was coming, but I'm not going to sit in a trade while doing a podcast. Wow, that is an intense dump. They really, they were really chopping it up. To me, it was pretty obvious, right? That they would
look at this.
Yeah. Right? Oops. Yeah, that's quite the nice dump. That would have been beautiful to be in on, but unfortunately. And the reality with trading, as we're saying, is sometimes you just got to know when to walk away. And it was a good decision that we closed our trades because this is a random environment for most people. Okay. I believe I would have gotten it right, but the reality is it's still completely random. Like, what if it spiked first and then down? You know what I mean? And then you would have lost. So it is essentially 50-50, despite you being right in some of these situations. And that's why we can just walk away and be done with it,
Yeah.
Have you seen any other?
So if I also can chime in on that as well, Hunter, I think I agree with what you're saying there, particularly if you are streaming. Now, I've been streaming for 4 years now, so I guess I've got a little bit of experience, same as you. But yeah, I think it's the wanting to be right aspect of things. Not wanting to be wrong, not wanting to look like an idiot on stream, and that sometimes can lead to emotional, not wanting to take trades when you should be out of it, or and so forth. But yeah, other than that, I think in terms of emotional, I think you putting your that again goes back to like having other things outside of trading that make you happy. Putting your whole self-worth in your trading, your trade, in your trading results, and I think that can lead to some poor decision making for sure.
That's a beautiful point, because you're saying if you identify as a trader, then when you mess up, well, now my identity is now broken.
Now I'm an idiot and I'm a loser, and that's not really actually the truth. Yeah.
So it really helps when you have other identities too. Like, myself, I'm a rock climber, I'm a trader, I'm a business owner, right? These are all the things. So when I lose on trading, I also do live streaming. Well, I just made a great live stream, right? So the way that you look at these things, if I lost money on a live stream and then freaked out for a while and then like brushed it off as it's no big deal, well, great. You just had a great entertaining live stream, right? So all of my other identities are still good. I'm still happy with myself that way. And when we really ingrain ourselves as I am one thing, well, you're probably not going to do that one thing very well when things hit the fan. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. No, I agree.
Played rugby.
Yeah.
When you played rugby, that was like a huge thing for you.
Yeah, and then I bust my knee up and I couldn't play anymore, and that was actually the first aspect of me like not learning to put my identity in one certain aspect. Because if you can't do it anymore, like for example, let's just say like you're having, again, it's the same as trading. If you're having losing patch or rugby, I bust my knee up. I was out for like 9-10 months. You can't do it for 10 months. Well, then where's your identity? So I think you got to have other things that you do, and it's good to, as I said, like that's why on at least my social medias, and you guys should go follow me on my social medias as well on Twitter. James Bruce 131, but I always share my wins and my losses. I'm not perfect. I mess up sometimes. Can I make money long term? Have I made money long term? Yes, but I'm gonna have some times where I mess up. I'm not as good as Hunter yet. I don't make money every single day, right? So it is what it is. You're not gonna, and I think it's the same thing with like even like a sport. When you like your career, even if you're an accountant, don't put your self-worth in that as well, right?
Yeah, with that, I think that's a beautiful place to wrap up. We were just doing a quick stream today, guys. Great questions. We will give away the 50K to the guy that always has the best questions here, Julius Johanna. Open up a ticket in Discord, mate. We do this every single Tuesday. Next week, however, we're going to cancel it. IFX Expo is in Cyprus.
Oh, nice. Nice. That'll be quite cool, bro. I was actually just at an expo in South Africa in Cape Town, so those expos are pretty cool. Good networking.
Yeah, I've been to a couple. They're great for networking. We're gonna do some streams on wherever we're gonna be, but not the big podcast and everything. So,
I want to do. Guys, I want to see you do the. I want to see your vlogs of the cash giveaways. I like it.
Yeah, I have. I still have one pending that I need to give away. We're not doing the challenge this week, but there's another video going to be posted on Thursday, and then anyways, enough banter. The cash giveaways are a lot of fun. Yeah, we'll do one in Limassol, I'm sure, next week as well. Right, guys, thanks for watching. James Bruce 131 if you want to follow James, or Dumb Money Hunter for myself, and Julius, open up a ticket. You won a 50K. See you in 2 weeks. Ciao.